Hello and welcome back. My name is Carrie, and today I'm here to talk about the May wrap up. I'm a little late to the game, but May sucked, and I just didn't want to talk about it. But now we're at the end of the first week of June. June so far is going great. That gave me the all right. We can take a look back. And between looking at my journal and looking at pictures, actually, some good things happened in May. So yeah, let's talk about the good things and then I'll tell you like the crappy things that happened in May, and then we'll move on to like decks I'm using, what's on my table right now, some readings I have laying out that just make me freaking laugh. The universe is hilarious. Okay, so May 1st, I started off so strong. I went to hot yoga. And you don't know how many times I like sign up for hot yoga and then cancel it. Sign up because it's in the app and it's so easy to do. Because I have to drive across town to get there, right? So I went to hot yoga, so proud of myself, got all kinds of chores done that day, started off strong, May 1st, go. Then we went to Jon Stewart, and that was amazing. We had a great date night, my husband and I. I went down and visited my daughter again, even though I had just seen her the month before. We went to an estate sale together. So that was the first time either one of us went to an estate sale. And it was a little heartbreaking because obviously it was an older woman who had passed. I almost bought her box of wall calendars. She had wall calendars that spanned more than 50 years. 60 years? No. Yes. No. Oh my God. Yes. Like 1960 to now. Oh my gosh. That seems like that. Anyway, she had a lot of wall calendars and she wrote in them a lot. And I almost bought that box of calendars. If I'd had my husband vehicle, which is larger than mine, I would have come home with an amazingly priced, beautiful bookcase that had sliding doors in the front, and it was metal. And like my desk here is this big old metal desk from like 1955 that I absolutely adore and got for $3. This bookshelf was like 30 something dollars. I would have paid more. But I didn't have the right vehicle to take it home. So I didn't come home with that. But I did come home with one of her mugs. I'm the only one who drinks coffee. So a mug has to go for me to bring this one in. But I love it. It's my new favorite mug. It fits so well in my hand. And I got her maracas. And these have been so integral to my healing of my sacral chakra. Like, it has been really wonderful. I thought I loved my drums, which I do, but these right now, these have been amazing. So I'm regularly using my maracas that I got down there at that estate sale. We went to a cute little bookstore and supported them and got some books. I got my first Lego floral arrangement and put that together. We did, oh wait, I'm skipping. I went and hiked one of my favorite old hikes because my daughter lives where I used to live, or near there, right? So I went to one of my favorite hikes, and there were mountain laurels blooming and rhododendrons blooming, and I did it like 10 and a half miles. And the last 3 miles, I did like a peg leg pace, which is like, she's a quick hiker. So, it was all down. It was all downhill, which was the only reason I could keep probably her uphill pace. I got to see my favorite doctor, which was wonderful to see him. I just wish I didn't have to. And then we also completed our fence project. It took 5 weeks. We thought we were going to get all the soil. We had 10 cubic yards of soil delivered at the beginning of April. And we rented a skid loader, like to, help us move it to the backyard and to help us pull up all the periwinkle that was in my garden space. And it's on a slope, and we had to put all that soil back there and then build the fence. And we're going to build a garden fence, but then also another extending the fence so that the dogs have a place to play and I have my garden. And they're not getting into it, which is very good because they want to get into it so badly. So I'm so glad we did that. I wouldn't be able to keep them out of it. So like, we got a lot done, but my body hurt so much. I had like the right side of my body, my right hand to shoulder, down to my hip, up my neck, all of it. Like, has been hurting. And I had to basically move all that soil. We had moved it back into one spot with the skid loader, but we didn't want to like put the dirt up against where we were building the fence because we still needed to build the fence, right? So it was like all in the middle. And then I got all these raised garden things. So I had to basically move all that soil plus more amendments that I purchased into all those raised beds. So like my body was really hurting, but we got it done. So that's amazing. But we did think that the week that we got the soil, we thought we were going to pull up all the weeds, move the soil, and get most of the fence done that weekend. And it really took us 3 weekends to do the fence, but there was a rain weekend in between, so we missed a weekend. And then I had vertigo and couldn't like walk straight. So we didn't build that weekend. So it took us 5 weekends to build our fences, but they're done. And let's see, I read a book. I listened to a good book while I was moving the soil too. What did I read to? None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. It's one of those production, like there's all the different voices. It's not just one person's voice. It was weird, but good. It kept me like on my toes. And then I read a physical book, Life Hacks for a Little Alien by Alice Franklin. Both of those were from the library. So loving getting my library card back. So May wasn't terrible, but I was diagnosed with alpha-gal. And my diet is already so limited. To limit it more was like really depressing. I did try, and the thing with alpha-gal, which by the way is a tick-borne illness, and it makes you allergic to mammalian protein. For some people, it means like they can't eat meat anymore. They can eat chicken and fish and turkey and duck, but can't eat like pork or beef. And you might say, well, just don't eat those things. But my diet is already so limited. I can't eat any soy products. I can't eat any legumes. I can't have peanuts. I can't have cashews. I can't have lentils. I miss them. Oh my gosh, pinto beans. I loved them. I had recipes for like bean soups. I was a vegetarian for 5 years, but I can't eat tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant, peppers, all the spices made of peppers. Like it's a very limited diet. And now it's even more, and it's a little depressing. So, and the other thing is you just don't know when it starts, because after the tick bite, it might take a year for you to respond to the meat, right? So, and it's a delayed reaction. So it's not like you eat it and within minutes you're reacting. It can take up to 10 hours for you to react if you're going to react. Some people don't react to dairy, so I might still be able to eat my goat cheese, but I don't know that. So I did have some ghee the other day, and I got so sick. I was sick all day, like nausea. I wish I could have gotten sick, but I couldn't. GI issues, running to the bathroom. It was a bad day. And then I've been really sad. And so hurting, a new diagnosis. My diet is so restricted. Had a really bad day when I did have a little ghee. And did I react because it was alpha-gal, or did I have some food poisoning? Like, I have no idea. So now I have to decide when I want to maybe feel sick again, and then try another dairy, a goat or a sheep dairy, and see how that goes. So I told my husband, I said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to have like some really good cheese. But yeah, it might mean that I'm sick the rest of the day or not. It's just the unknown, which is really driving me crazy. I do have an appointment next month with an acupuncturist that seems to be helping people with alpha-gal. So it's a procedure where they put these tiny little acupuncture needles in your ear, and you go home with a bandage on your ear and those needles in your ear for 3 weeks. And then you take them out yourself, basically. But people are like reversing their alpha-gal. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So great things did happen last month. I also fell in love with the thoth in May. So there's that. Absolutely love it. Love the mod. Love it without the borders. I've already modified the mini one that I got when I was on trail. And I love it. I loved it so much. So that happened in May. I had a dream. I go months and months without having any memory of dreams. So I had a dream, and it was thoth-based dream. So that was exciting. And yeah, that was May. Moving on to June. Okay, May is done. Let's stop talking about May. I did have to go mow the lawn, so time has passed. And we're moving on to June. So there have been a couple of things that have helped me, like, get out of my funk and move forward. Um, and one of them is getting back into my Psalms practice. I slacked off both in actually doing things, but also in putting dots in my journal when I did do things. And that bothers me because I'm like, I know I walked in the woods more times, but I don't have credit for it. And I want my credit, even though I don't get anything for it other than counting my dots up and feeling good. So I have a plan now for work and studying, getting a module done a month, and of course, actually growing medicinal herbs and foods in my garden. So that I've got plans for that. I purposely pulled passion fruit as my botanical guide for the month, and the intention of passion flower, so Passiflora incarnata. The intention is singularity, and it's it's encouraging you to be weird and wild, like be your weird and wild self. I've had some stuff about my self-worth being in question, which it shouldn't be, but deep rooted things that I'm untangling and working on. And growing healthy vines versus unhealthy stuff. So I purposely picked this card. I didn't, I knew I'm trying to grow passion flower. I have put a lot of time into the seeds, 2.5 months of them being in the fridge and stratified. So every week I would take them out and make sure they have some oxygen because they need it. Seeds need oxygen. They are now planted and I'm just waiting to see. They usually don't have a great germination rate, but I stratified, putting them in a cold climate, and I scarified, using some sandpaper. So I've done what I can for the plants. So hopefully that grows. But that's my guide for the month. I really want to do something about my meditation practice. I say it's important to me, and then I don't do it very much. I do the Calm app meditations. I love Jeff. I love those guided meditations. But I'd like to do more, right? I'd like to do silent meditations or just with music and a timer on. I started reading the book by Thich Nhat Hanh, The Miracle of Mindfulness, when I was on trail and realized I had too much stuff and this had to go. So I only read the first chapter on trail, but I put it into use. It was the first chapter is about, or one part of it is he's talking about when he was a novice monk and one of his teachers said, you do the dishes to do the dishes. Don't do the dishes because they need to get done or you need to do them or you need to do them so you can get to the next thing. Just do the dishes to do the dishes. And it didn't really make sense at first. But when I was walking and in pain and always worried about I need to get from point A to point B, I'd remind myself, nope, we're walking to walk. We're walking to walk. And I would walk and say that over and over again. And I think I started to finally absorb it some. So I'm now on chapter 3 of the book. I'd only read the first chapter. Now I'm on chapter 3. And it's a very small book. So I should be done with that book before the end of the month. Reading for fun hasn't been a problem. I'm reading Circe now and really enjoying it. And I can't wait for the next book because I already have it. And it's another Madeline Miller book, which is Song of Achilles. So yeah, really excited about my reading for fun is back in and I'm excited. So meditation and yoga are important to me, but I don't work on them enough. So I'm trying to, use this fire. The cards are telling me you need some fire. And all right, so that means I have to actually do the things. So I open my monthly envelopes at the beginning of the month and I open full moon envelopes at the full moon. As the full moon is moving closer to the beginning of the month, I might open my monthly envelopes later, or I'm not sure yet. But in addition to the tarot and oracle cards in those envelopes, I have a yoga card. So every month I get 2 new yoga cards. And my plan was to be doing these on a regular basis. But I was putting them up on my whiteboard and I would put them up in the order which they came out of the envelopes, which doesn't necessarily make a good order for like having a yoga practice and doing a vinyasa. So I changed the cards. I took them down off the whiteboard and I put them on my altar space. And it's right in front of my face now. Like I only see the top card, but like I know I've got it there. So in addition to doing the cards, I've also been doing extra, like a little 15-minute yoga class in addition to the cards. So that's been really good. So June has been really good for getting my yoga practice in. And then when I get to Shavasana, I do a meditation laying on the floor, not trying to like do two things at one time. Like I will like, oh, I'm going to do a calm meditation like while I'm cooking or while I'm taking a shower. Try to do two things at one time. So now I just like lay on my floor with my bolsters and blankets. I'm so comfy and cozy and do a full meditation. And the goal is to work on getting, like a half-hour meditation, but starting with a 15-minute silent or just music and a timer versus a guided meditation. That's my goal. And so far, so good. So really enjoying the fact that I moved those. Great idea. Okay, so some cards that I have pulled that make me like, go, or laugh, or, So passion fruit. I pulled this card from the botanical decks on purpose, right? It wasn't just by chance that I got passion fruit. But then I was like, let me see what these guys say. I felt called to use the Woodland Wardens, right? Is that what that is? And the Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck. I think that's what they're called. Both of them were trimmed a little bit. I just felt called to shuffle these and use them together. And I like them together. Metamorphosis and intuition, luck and kindred spirits. Yeah, I really like these together. I love this picture. And I don't even mind that it's in a tarot deck as a different card. I don't know, if I had two tarot decks with the same old picture in different places, that might bother me. Healing wounds and centering. So I love that we get an animal and a plant. And then the artwork of this together, I think they go very well together. Trust and innocence. So I pulled, and I had just said this, when it's just the coincidences. I had literally just been in this room saying, this is my sanctuary. And then I pull sanctuary and passion flower, the spider and passion flower, creative ingenuity, right? Like, okay, yeah, this is good. So this is sitting in my altar space. And then I also, because of the dream I had last month where I thought it was like, I had a whip that I say it was like this, whatever is encircling the Fool, and like this snake. It was like both things at the same time. And that the tiger / cheetah / panther or whatever, it was like an amalgamation of multiple cats, but made into one cat, but there were two of them. But they weren't like one's a tiger and one's a leopard, right? They were an amalgamation. And I thought it was from these, but then I realized, no, this Fool, right? The circle around it is the snake or dragon or whatever. Oh my God, I thought that was ripped for a second. It was back here. Whew. Oh my gosh. So, and the giant cats were amalgamation of these two. So I was the Fool or whatever. I had a whip and I was moving forward with the cats that were moving towards me. I woke up. That was my dream. Can't stop thinking about it. They're on my mind. So then I go to my grandmother decks, which I have multiples of. So my Zerner Ferber and my Llewellyn, I don't shuffle. They have been shuffled, and then when I feel called, I just turn over the next card. And then this other grandmother deck, what is this called? Guardian Angel, Radley Valentine. This one I do shuffle, and I take jumpers, and the jumpers jump. So a couple of weeks ago, I kept getting 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles. And that has changed thanks to the Thoth. So I was like, yes, the 4 of Pentacles I felt was very much saying like, what are you doing? Stop your spending. You don't need all these decks. You've got plenty of decks. Like, just cool it. You said you weren't going to buy anything for April, and then you did. And then you just bought more in May. So I'm like, okay, so I'm on a no buy until I go on vacation later in the summer, early fall. And when I go traveling, I can get something at a witchy shop. Like, that's my next purchase. I'm not buying any tarot decks. And that was like painful for a few days. And then I didn't even notice that it wasn't painful anymore, but I had trimmed my little backpacking Thoth deck, and I trimmed it, I shuffled it, and I get the 4 of Discs. But this is power, right? And it's like the 4 of Pentacles has changed, or at least in this instance for me. Like, I didn't have control, and now I do, and it feels really good, and it feels powerful, and I'm good. I can watch TarotTube and not feel like I need to buy everything. And yeah, that's been nice. So yeah, a different take on that. And I love it. So anyway, so these guys, oh, this is the Rosetta, by the way. This is the Rosetta Tarot. The Rosetta Tarot, these 2 cards are on my altar space, and they live right next to this. So again, I don't shuffle them. I just take the next cards. But for now, a couple weeks, these cards have been on my mind. And I turn over the next cards, and I get the Queen of Wands and the Fool. I'm like, okay, they really want me to pay attention to this. I get it. And I let it sit for a day. I just like to think on it. And then I realized, wait a minute, my mom is a Queen of Wands and my dad is a Fool, in a very loving way, like jumping in, trying things, being silly, fun, that kind of Fool. So I'm like, wait a minute. Like, is my mom calling me a fool? I asked that question while I'm shuffling this deck. Is my mom calling me a fool? Is that what's really going on? And it's not the Fool. It is 0, but it's not the Fool. It's a new beginning. You're at the beginning of a wonderful journey. There is no need to have any fear, as guardian angels walk beside you every step of the way. You have unique gifts to offer the world if you will just free yourself from that which holds you back. New opportunities will present themselves if you truly believe. How lovely. And it's kind of funny too, because she could be slyly like, yeah, I am calling you a fool. Anyway, I just love the serendipity of getting the same cards or having a dream and then turning over the cards. Like, it's just really cool. I like it. And I'm like absorbing it right now. And I'm like, okay, even if this is like, I can take the best of my mom and the best of my dad and put those together. And that's really awesome. Right? I can leave behind the parts that don't suit me. So I don't know. This has been just a really beautiful week of readings, I think. This is the Murder of Crows, and this is Shadowlands, and I had a fun little play with these the other day. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go like this until I find a pair. Like, if I find a pair, then that's my reading, and if I find more than one pair, then both of them are my readings, and if I don't find a pair, no reading. Okay. So that was my plan. And I went through, and I can't really pay as much attention. Magician and Knight of Pentacles. Hierophant and the Star. Not the 9 and the 5. So I went through like this, and then I got one pair out of it. And the pair was the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. And this was so perfectly timed because I had just like had an aha moment of like what I could use as a visualization to help me heal from some trauma. And oh my gosh, like so powerful. And it was just a little fun play, but I'm like, yeah, that was very nicely timed. So thanks, guys. And so my monthly reading was this right here. So this still lives on my board, but my yoga cards don't, because this I will look at but the yoga cards weren't in the right order to do and blah, blah, blah. I like having them in my hand and being able to lay them on the floor and move them around. So that's working great. This stays on the board. Really, it's just so good. The readings are so good recently. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. I have journaled about this. I'm not going to go into it too much other than eShell weaving. And I feel like I am like, I don't know, I do want to do a craft, maybe braiding a rainbow or making like a friendship bracelet or something where I am actually weaving my chakra rainbow colors. And combining that with like another healing practice. So I'm excited about it. The sun, the light, the love, the Witch of Trees, like this all has been a very nice reading, so when I open the envelope, I will sit down with all 4 guidebooks and like dig into it and write in my journal, and then I reflect it over the month. And at the end of the month, I go back in my journal and add more to it. So I really like my monthly readings, and this was just perfect timing. Those decks, by the way, are Sacred Rebels Oracle with the Wild and Sacred Feminine, 2 cards from the Witch Sisters, which I love. I can't wait till the year is over so that I could play with this deck more. So I'm really enjoying using this one. All of these decks, I love them together. I love the readings I get out of it. And then the Mysteries of the Black Madonna. So these 4 together make my monthly cards. Okay, the only other thing I've really been playing with is this combination of, I use the Energy Archaeology. This is like my agility deck, but now it's kind of just become like the decks I want to use when it comes to like making goals for myself. So the Energy Archaeology, in addition to the Scarab and Dahlia, I do switch it up because this is also in use with another couple of decks. I did switch it up and change to the Thoth, but my first week of doing this, I did the Scarab and Dahlia, and then the Hyde Tarot. And then the second and third week of pulling these cards, I added in the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. It's been great. I really love this. So I'm not playing with other decks right now. This is really what I'm using. And the Thoth, like just on its own. Okay, so these are the readings that I've had. So 2.5 weeks ago, I had co-creation with the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Wands. So what I got out of this is I'm not doing it alone, right? So we have one Ace of Wands that's very fiery, and it is about like cave paintings. And while this is a spear, you could also look at it like a paintbrush, right? And then the ink is the other Ace of Wands, the bottle that holds the ink, right? Like you can do what you want, but you have to move forward. Like we can't take the step for you. You have to do it, but we'll help you and hold you the whole way. Like it was just a really lovely, beautiful reading. So that was the first one that I had in this series. And then I'm like, okay, so this has been up on my desk where I can see it. Then the following week I pulled Identity, which I've been questioning, Frontal Lobe, Satiety, the 10 of Cups, and the Cocoon, the 2 of Wands. So we've moved on from the Ace to the 2 of Wands, but we're doing it with love. But even though we've got all these cups, it's still like a very fiery card. And like I'm doing some like sacral chakra work. That's what I'm working on, and that's what it just feels like. And then I added this to it. And in this deck, at first I thought like Empress, right? Because it's a 3, but there's man, woman, and then starborn, or the other way around. It might be woman, then man. Yeah, and I have this cocoon and this egg, and like I am metamorphosizing. Is that a word? Metamorphosizing? It feels like there's too many syllables. I'm changing right now. And it's just been beautiful. So I need to sit down. I've journaled some about these cards. I need to do some more so I can, shuffle them back in. And then this week I got Capacity and Adjustment, the Owl or Queen of Cups with Gnosis. So I haven't had a lot of time to think on this one, but just the balance of these and what, oh, it's just beautiful. What I haven't gotten into is this guidebook for any of these yet. I've just been sitting with them, and this is a great guidebook. So I'm going to go move on from where I am now with the help of this. It just feels good. So pulling this is what made me be like, okay, you've got to do something different about your yoga practice. And that's when I pulled the cards off the board and put them on the altar and started actually practicing like I say I want to. So it's been great. Yeah, I'm not using tons of decks. Oh, I did use, here's some, I do have one I was playing with. So I did play with Messages from the Light meditation deck this week. This was the first card I ever got out of this deck. And I'm matching it with the Hush Tarot. So I did trim all the titles off, but I also changed the titles to all these cards. So I know my titles, I don't. This is my King of Pentacles, and this is my Queen of Swords with Initiation. They don't always look so great together. You know, the more colorful cards seem out of place with them, but when they have these colors together, so, ooh. This is my Ten of Swords, and she is my Nine of Cups. There's my Page of Swords. That's her mentor, like, oh my goodness. I love them. Stillness. So yeah, this has been a fun pairing. She's my queen. They had her as the page. She's my queen. I thought she was going to be the king, but she was like, nope, I'm the queen. Forgiveness with the Magician and my Knight of Pentacles. Six of Cups and Eight of Wands. All right, so that's my little combination. That's another desk deck. So easy to grab and play with, and I can still stay at my desk and study. That's the whole point of having, like, not only having the cards I really want to use at hand and easy to use, that's great, but also so that I'm like more willing to stay at my desk and study, because I can just, well, let me just do a quick reading. Or sometimes while I'm studying, I will leave like a deck like this, a couple decks, you know, I got my books out and I'm studying, and when I feel called, I'll just turn over to the next. Beautiful. Like that. So I keep my cards here. I'm going. Okay. All right. So, and then another reading that I had that I've been sitting on. When I have 8 tarot cards and 4 of them are majors and 3 of them are court or people cards, like, it gets my attention. So I had the Queen of the Moon Oracle for quite a while and just wasn't using it. And I am now, like, it's on my desk. I really enjoy it. This might actually change. I might change my moon cards. I'm currently using the Sacred Mothers and Goddesses, which has been really great. But the last goddess I got, that was another bummer for last month. And it's not her fault. I can't remember the goddess, but I didn't even put her on my altar space, which I normally do, because I was just so sick of the backstories of so many of our gods and goddesses deal with really horrible things. The gods are doing really terrible things to each other. You know, incestuous, just evil, eating each other, like just bad stuff. And I'm just kind of sick of it. So while I normally love that deck so much, I was just like, I don't want to hear it anymore. So I put the card away, didn't journal about it at all. So we'll see moving forward. But I mean, I still have my envelopes stuffed, but I really enjoy this deck. So I pulled one card from Queen of the Moon and I got the masculine. And I knew I was going to pick one card from the ritual to go on either side, and then one Scarab and Dahlia to go on the outside of that. And this really says to me like toxic masculinity. Oh, I also don't work with reversals. I mean, to me, every card has a spectrum. I like them sitting up, right side up, but I understand that it might be the reversal energy, right? But I just get there in different ways. But that was the only card in the deck that was upside down. So when that comes out and it's reversed, I read it. So Justice reversed. Knight of Wands to me feels like it could be very toxic masculinity, like just doing things because you can, not because it's the right thing to do kind of energy. And then over here we have the Princess of Pentacles, Princess of Discs. Oh, it's Pentacles in here, right? And then the Six of Coins, right? And that is the other masculinity. Like water is included. It's a synergy. It's a give and take. It's a curiosity on how to do things better instead of just charging in all the time, right? Like, doesn't that feel like that reading? And then I asked, like, so what comes next? And we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot. Like, it's time to move forward, like, with the world and the vision that we want to have. And then I went to the bottom of the deck, and then like how do we really get there? And Death and the Queen of Wands. So yeah, so this has just been sitting on my table in this. I normally like take this out to the living room and like play cards out there, but this has just been holding this for a few days as I ponder upon it. So I need to sit and journal about this, and I need to sit and journal about my other like 3 weeks of readings. But other than that, I have been journaling like pretty well. I've done a few extra readings where I've like journaled on, just a little reading. I just like, I'm keeping track of how often I get certain things. And yeah, that is my June so far. My intention is to, get stuff I need to done for school and the garden, and my taking care of my body. And on top of that, whatever comes. But I do have the decks I want to play with, like within reach now. Again, I'm not buying decks for another couple months. I still have one deck I haven't opened. Oh, let's look at a really fun combo. And I got a new deck and it's helping me use an old deck that I wasn't using at all. So let's take a look at that. Okay, this combo has been so fun. So Runners of the Sun, cute oracle, a really cute collage. Oop, we go in. Really beautiful collage. I like the keywords. I like the gray and the green, right? The green border and the green words. I don't mind gilding when it's a smaller deck. I think it's beautiful. It took me a minute. I was shuffling the other day and I didn't realize at first that this is so much lighter than this right here. And I was like, what's wrong with my deck when I was shuffling it? So really enjoying this. And I'm using it with another, if I can get it out, I'm using it with another collage deck that I've had some great readings with it. I got it used a couple years ago and I just barely ever play with it. The Voyager Tarot. But the color here, and I very much trimmed it. I only have the keywords at the top. I don't have the titles of the cards anymore. I don't know them all, but there is a little cheat sheet in the front of the book, and I have it dog-eared right there. So it gives you all the keywords and what position it is. So I don't need them on there. I really like it like this. What do you think? If you have the, what is it again? Runners of the Sun. What do you pair it with? It's so funny to me. I feel like, oh, it's so busy, it's so busy. And then all of a sudden, I was like, I wonder how these two will look together. And like, I care about the tarot position, but more than that, I really do like those keywords, and sometimes just using it as the imagery and kind of as an oracle. Aw. The Hermit and the Lovers with Community. So, really digging this combination. And other than that, I'm just gonna play with the cards that I want to play with and get shit done that I want to get done. That's the goal for the month. I hope everyone has a great June and take care of yourselves. Bye bye.